5 months ago, I started posting storytelling videos every day on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. As of May of 2025, I've accumulated nearly 500,000 followers on Instagram, 46 million views across social media, and made over $50,000 with my online business. And in this entire crash course, I'm going to reveal to you these 6 key frameworks I use to build my dream personal brand as a full-time creator while still studying in uni at the age of 20. Before we get started, yes, I am selling a digital product and will promote it in this video. Yes, everything I share is based on real experience and results. Yes, you will still get value from this free guide. Okay, awesomeness. No, I do not want your money, however. This is just me serving. All glory to God. Okay, now let's get started with framework 1. Framework 1 is called the Dream Avatar. Oof. Now, the purpose of the Dream Avatar is basically you cannot create content for everyone. That's just the truth about social media in general. So you want to target one person, and that person is your younger self. The more clear you can picture them, the more powerful your message becomes. You know yourself better than anyone, which is why you're focusing on the younger version of you. So you need at least 3 hyper-specific lists about your younger self. This is what the Dream Avatar is. It's a document of 3 main lists. Use these avatar quote-unquote lists as scripting practice or a consistent journal as a content creator. This is the #1 way to make your videos authentic and engaging. I'll show you in a bit. But this requires you to be deadly open, honest, and vulnerable on camera. That's just the basic foundational requirement to create your dream avatar. Because social media has a very scary but funny way to serve your video and feed your content to your dream avatar. So feel free to start with an overview of their profile, which is basically like you can describe their specific interests, their age, obviously, gender, occupation, background, physical health, how are they doing physically, how are they doing mentally. It's up to you to create your own profile. However, the first important step starts with step 1, which is listing the dreams. This is where you ask the question, what did or do you truly want? I said did or do because it's either past or present. You can either document your journey right now and talk about yourself right now and the problems and the dreams that you are trying to achieve right now, or the easier path is to talk about what you did and what dreams and goals and aspirations you had beforehand. So you can always get deeper and deeper with it, which is what we want from this dream avatar. You don't want to write generic goals like make money or get fit, quote unquote. So you got to ask the tough questions like, why did you want that goal? What did you want others to think about you? And a lot of the times, people, especially me, I get motivated by the perception of others about me. So you got to write about, okay, they have this specific goal because they want X person or Y person to think about this about them, to see them like this label, to see them as masculine, to see them as powerful or attractive, etc. So you got to get that deep with it. I'll show you my list soon, but instead of, let's say, 10K a month as a dream, right? You want to write to finally set my parents free from debt. Instead of 6-pack, you want to write to get an aesthetic V-taper and impress girls. And you can definitely get deeper and deeper with this because this is still pretty generic. Finally, you want to write 10 to 20 raw dreams that exposes your younger self's heart and their desires and their aspirations, right? Either good or bad, it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's go to my very own dream avatar, which is right here. Let's go to health dreams because that's pretty basic. This is my list of health dreams. As you can see, I wrote down 10 because if I wrote down 20, I think it would be a little bit too much. This is basically like the generic dreams that 20-year-old Ken has, which is pretty much me a few months ago. So I make videos for my younger self a few months back. You can make videos for your younger self, let's say 5 years, 10 years ago. Doesn't matter, okay? So let's take a look at my health dreams. Stop overthinking with his head and deny his prideful flesh to quit being arrogant, seeking validation, and showing off for attention. Like that's already a lot, right? But I kept going. By practicing emotional discipline over his thoughts and feelings and learning to make righteous decisions from the Bible and his fear of God. Okay, that's just one example. Ooh, this one. I like this one. Lift dumbbells and train calisthenics consistently in his home gym to build a super jacked, healthy, and aesthetic physique with massive arms, shoulders, and a lean X body shape like a juiced MMA fighter while showing a reserved personality without needing to go to a gym. And yeah, you can take a pause of this video and read the rest of my dream examples, But that's basically the gist of the dream avatar in terms of step 1. Step 2 is actually more important because every dream has multiple problems, obstacles, and pains behind it. The reason we want to dream, so you want to insert, the reason why, let's say, like I just said, build an aesthetic physique, is because we're tired of XYZ suffering, right? That pain, that struggle. So now you flip the dreams upside down and look at your specific past struggles. Don't write vague stuff like addicted to phone or procrastination or laziness. No. All right. Again, you want to write very hyper specifically. So like scrolling reels 12 hours a day to numb the loneliness inside his heart. Even that itself is still pretty vague and generic, right? So you want to get deeper and deeper and deeper so that you practice that specific scripting, specific writing and targeting, because specificity is relatability, and sharing pains is more effective marketing than sharing dreams. So that's why pains, step 2, is a lot more important. Obviously, you still need to write down your dreams because without the dreams, there is no pain. So you want to aim for 3 to 5 macro pains. You want to aim to write 3 to 5 macro pains, which is like the generic pains that describe your past self's real battles, the ones you've went through already. And then under each macro pain, you want to write more micro pains. So let's say 3 micro pains for each one. So they're basically smaller obstacles you had to deal with underneath the macro pains. So I'll show you an example here. Let's go to my dream avatar and say relationships. Stop overthinking with his head. So my macro pains are these ones, these 3 up here, right? And then these ones are my micro pains. Macro would be battling a toxic mindset of constant negativity, guilty conscience, and self-hatred. Feeling sorry for himself when there's no reason or right to. So I'm used to victimization. I used to struggle with that a lot. Dealing with personal insecurities of his physical appearance and current state of life, right? So I struggle with, let's say, discontentment, never being satisfied, right? So you can get deeper and deeper with your own struggles. And that's what you need to do. Because you cannot think of, okay, let me write about my target audience's struggles. Who is your target audience? The best target audience that you can serve and help and mentor and coach is your younger self. And there are millions of younger yous out there. That is why the Dream Avatar framework is the most useful framework to start your personal brand. Let me read some of my micro pains. Getting too comfortable at home and in his room, which leads to procrastination. That's basic. Laziness, causing him to put less time and effort into workouts, which makes him lose motivation. Failing to remain consistent with new meals. Afraid to try something new. Too much time and effort to search and make the right recipes. That's so true for me. Now, for a fitness coach, for example, if you want to make fitness content, nutrition content, gym content, these are the type of things and type of pains that you would be mentioning in your videos, in your scripts, in your hooks, right? That is exactly why pains are so important. And you want to write it down for each and every dream that you wrote down, by the way. So if you wrote down 10 dreams like I did, you're going to have to take that time to write down more specific pains. Now, step 3 is to list the solutions. Now you conclude the dream and pain by writing a clear solution. What helped you back then? That's the question you want to ask. What actually healed you? What did you discover or figure out to solve XYZ pain and to achieve XYZ dream, right? So for example, struggling with consistency, that solution can be set a 1-hour screen time limit every day. These are the things you've learned through experience and not through theory. So you don't want to regurgitate the things that you watched from like Andrew Tate or Hamza or Iman Gadzhi or any of these other gurus online when you actually haven't practiced it and implemented it and actually solved it in person. So the dreams that you wrote down, you make sure that most of them, that you've actually achieved most of them. Okay, otherwise your credibility is gone to the bin, to the trash. This is also where your credibility stands, like I said, on your real transformation and change. Each dream, macro pain and micro pain should have at least one legit solution. So now you've got a full storytelling content idea library just from reflecting your past life. So let me show you guys an example of some solutions that I wrote down. Defeat lust, right? Let's look at this. Defeat lust. Here's all my solutions. Sexual temptation, scrolling, loneliness, seeing women in public and on social media. Now, the generic macro solution would be look away and flee, quote unquote, from lustful signs. It's a Bible thing. And respect women's bodies as pure sisters. And then the micro pains would be getting lost in the feeling of loneliness and being weird with women by overthinking. Think about the solution would be micro solution. Think about Jesus' love. Look at all the women as his sisters in Christ and stop seeking attention, right? That's what happened with me. Okay, those are the solutions that I found, and all of these are the same. Step 4 is to speak their language. So now that you have and know your own avatar, start using their own voice. This is super important. Remember the phrases you used to or still repeat in your head daily. For example, for me, it's like, bruh, damn, I'm lazy. Why am I like this, bro? Sprinkle those quotes, phrases, and internal thoughts into your scripts word for word. This creates instant retention, so people stay hooked when they feel understood. This is the new era of personal brands. Having a dream avatar and knowing who your past self is, knowing exactly who you're trying to target, that leads you to become authentically vulnerable in front of the camera, in front of that avatar, in front of your audience, okay? So it's not about serving an audience, which technically you are, but the mindset is you want to serve one person. You want to serve one very specific person so that people can actually understand your specific solutions, your specific niche. Who are you? What do you actually do? Otherwise, you're just going to be like the other 99% of content creators who are literally regurgitating lessons they learned from YouTube videos and books and all that stuff. Self-improvement, that's just a disgusting niche at this point. Like, you don't need to act like a guru. Just tell stories and document like a human, because the next generation of creators isn't trying to influence, quote unquote. They're just being real, okay? Which is our movement in Creatopia. Which brings me to the next framework as well. Framework 2 is story scripting. Now, the foundation of story scripting. After writing your dream avatar, the next step is to learn how to speak to them, okay? So just like using their voice, this is how you learn how to communicate through scripting and through speaking. And the best way to speak to them is through a storytelling format. Storytelling isn't a viral tactic. It really isn't. It's the OG, the original source, the original form of human communication. If you want to build trust, impact, and engagement, learn how to script like a storyteller. Learn how to tell stories. Basic, right? Introduction, climax, conclusion. This is better than the guru, quote unquote, approach, because we create personal connection instead of competition of credibility and social proof, right? Plus, gurus are boring at this point. I'm pretty sure you are too. You're bored of them too. So don't mentor people online with no story, okay? You can still be that guru, be that coach, okay, but your priority should be to be a storyteller, okay? Because your story is your credibility. Your credibility allows you to mentor and help people and coach people. If you want to become a coach, like myself, if you want to, sell digital products, you need credibility. So don't mentor people online with no story as your engagement and credibility tool. Story is an engagement and credibility tool. Step 1, start with a heavy hook. So this is how you pretty much script a storytelling video. Your hook is the front door of your video. Do not start with tips or motivation. Okay, super important. A lot of people make this mistake. Their videos flop because they, to be honest, they are literally just regurgitating the same thing. Same typical generic microwave, repetitive, boring, cringy advice that they've heard from the same For You page that they post on. You know what I mean? So they're just repeating stuff. So don't start with those same tips or motivation. Start with an intro to your story, to your testimony. I call them heavy hooks. Hooks built on specific dreams and pains, which connects back to the dream avatar. Take a key dream or pain from your avatar list and open up with that as context. So you want to give context when you open up an introduction to your story. For example, a year ago, I was reading my Bible and praying every night because I was so down bad and I couldn't quit my lustful habits. A year ago is the context time frame. Reading my Bible and praying every night, that would be the dream, because a lot of people can't read their Bible. A lot of people can't pray every night. They are struggling to stay consistent. So people's curiosity would be open at this point, right? Because I was so down bad. That's a pain, very common pain. And I couldn't quit my lustful habits. Another common pain, right? That's not a statement, that's an introduction in one sentence. And I had at least two dreams and 2 pains here. Use I language to talk to yourself. Okay, don't use you, because people will obviously assume that you're some sort of wannabe coach. But they will feel called out when you say I. Okay, I was reading my Bible. It's like technically, oh, same here. Oh, I'm trying to read my Bible. I want to see what this guy's saying. And praying every night. Oh, I'm praying every night too. All right, I want to try pray every night. Let me hear what this guy has to say. So they'll feel called out either way. But I is the best one because it's like indirect, Plus it's entertaining because they don't feel called out, they don't feel too uncomfortable yet. That one line turned into 10 million views, by the way. This is the hook that got me my most viewed video. It's at 11 million, I think, right now. Because it was real. Like, it's just me being real and sharing my testimony in a very efficient, structured, systemized way. Dreams and pains. Specificity. Step 2 is you want to follow a personal narrative arc. So every short story needs a beginning, a conflict, and a resolution. Okay? To make your content quote unquote valuable, right? To make it like useful for people and for people to learn something, you need a lesson in every video. So I like to separate the percentage split between 80% and 20%. So 80% would be the story, 20% would be the lesson. So start with an honest struggle, point A, and then end with a realization, point B. So that's your value right there. That's the present that you're giving. This happened to me last year, for example. That's quotes, right? For example, you say, this happened to me last year. Then you lead on to saying 5 tips to get more views, etc., etc., right? You don't do it the other way around. You want to do it the story first, introduce first, and then do the lesson. So use what I call the story starter words to start every sentence, okay? These are the story starter lists. Giving it away for free. Like, this is pretty basic anyways, but a lot of people still don't use them. But this helped me go viral multiple times. Okay, so it's and, then, so, but, now, because, therefore, however, and until. Take a screenshot, feel free. These are the words that help you start each and every sentence of your script and your story and your videos. And then these are the sentences that also make your story feel like it's going up and down in different events and places, right? So, and, then this happened, therefore this happened, but, then you break the pattern constantly. These will make your story feel like an up and down roller coaster, which is amazing for retaining the viewer. You want your narrative to be completely unpredictable, so you want to get them on the complete edge. Step 3 is to speak like you're texting your best friend. Your camera is your close friend, nobody else, not your audience. Close friend, not your audience. Close friend, not your audience. I'm repeating it because a lot of people still don't understand this, especially in Creatopia. Ditch the fake influencer voice. People can tell that you're faking it. Plus, it's cringe, like I said before. Viewers and doom scrollers, as much brain rot they have, they're not dumb. They can tell. They're very good at watching. You know, they can tell what's real and fake. So don't overact or read your script. Do not read your script, okay? Even though you are, talk the way you would normally talk. If you write your script and just for you to read it on camera, just for you to read line by line, then you might as well not script. Like, there's no point in scripting. Your script has to make you and help you be natural on camera, okay? Otherwise, no point. So practice raw delivery. For example, a 3 a.m. voice memo. That's like, you know, super relatable, right? A deep convo with the homie. Be vulnerable as well. This is super key. Be vulnerable, be weird, be real. Warm up, wiggle, cry, or jump around if you have to before filming. Okay, get comfortable. Be aware of your mood of your story and lines. Deliver the emotions accordingly. If it hurts, say it. If it's funny, laugh. Don't let insecurity or fear stop you from being real on camera. Authenticity is not a tactic, it's a superpower. It's your superpower, okay? So, step 4, let go of the influencer energy. Again, gotta emphasize this. Don't try and be motivational, just be honest. Stop performing for strangers. Everyone's sick of gurus. Tap into your childlike side, the real version of you, the version of you that is not insecure about how you sound, how you look on camera, right? Because in reality, nobody really cares. As much as I still feel insecure, I still film. No matter how my hair looks, no matter what I wear, it doesn't matter, okay? Speak from conviction, stand on your story. Don't, no more worrying about being cringe. Okay, there's just, debunk that completely. It's just stupid at this point. Everyone looks crazy until it works. That's the one thing that helped me continue to go, because like when I was at like 1,000 subs, 100 subs, I felt cringe and I felt crazy, but I knew it was gonna work eventually, right? And it did, because I didn't stop. Okay, if it's real, the one lost sheep out there will feel your video and whatever you're saying, and that's who you're trying to target. That's your dream avatar, and if you feel it, they will 1000% feel it. This means like if you watch your video and be like, that's a damn good video, that's about to make me cry. If you can make yourself cry from your own content, other people will too, okay? All my viral videos are the same. They are personal, they are very specific and relatable. But storytelling doesn't end with words. people can still scroll because your visuals are boring. So that brings us to the next framework, which is cinematography. Okay, framework 3. The goal is to make people feel something. That's not only with your script, but most creators make the mistake of just recording a video. Recording a video like I am doing right now, talking head, right? Great creators craft a fully fledged visual story or short film. Okay, so how do we achieve this? By cinematography. Now, films are better than TikToks. Films are more effective than TikToks. You want to watch the same amount of films as the amount of reels you scroll. You want to watch movies with the eyes of an editor, the eyes of a producer, the eyes of a director, the eyes of a scripter, right? And like pausing every scenes that inspire you. Become obsessed with films, okay? Viral content isn't about dancing or yelling, it's about connection. And I am obsessed with films because it is the original source of content, okay? Before content creation was movies and TV. Cinematic storytelling is emotional retention, and it also establishes real connection with your avatar, with the audience. The 3 foundational shots. All right, I'm going to go through this real quick. It's pretty basic. Long shot is the full body, which builds context and space, which is the first example here. Medium shot is the waist up. So it's your upper body usually. You can do lower body. No one ever really does that, which shows your activity and body language. And close up is your face or extreme little details. You can go extreme close up or close up, doesn't really matter, they're all the same. And it usually captures your emotion, your facial expressions, and focus. When you rotate between these, you create movement without moving the camera. Okay, so yes, all of this can be done solo and on your phone too. Very foundational. Now here are the 5 cinematic angles, which is the high angle. The high angle makes you look small or vulnerable. Right, so you're placing the audience at a higher position, and that makes them feel powerful. That's the effect with the high angle. With the low angle, it's the opposite. It gives you strength. So you're the upper position, you have the high ground, and the camera, they have the lower ground. They feel weaker with less power. So it gives strength for you and confidence and mystery for you. Then there's the over-the-shoulder shots, which is basically like showing your point of view. If a camera is here pointing down to what I'm looking at, which is my computer, my keyboard, my camera, that gives the point of view of what I'm seeing. So it creates intimacy and perspective as well, because you're pretty much like sharing your view with the audience. Then there's the bird's eye, which is like top down. Overview is basically like you got daily routines, object motion, stuff like that, typing on the keyboard, blah, blah, blah. And then there's the Dutch angle, Dutch tilt. This is usually used for dramatic tension or chaos when you just tilt the camera at a very unusual angle. I barely do it, but a lot of films do that too. So learn to use these angles, right? Because it helps you speak a visual language without any words. Absolute cinema. Now let's move on to lighting. Natural light is better than manufactured lights. Golden hour is your best friend, which is usually 7 a.m. or 6 p.m. here in Australia. Sunset, sunrise, right? Those shots hit different, bro. I'm telling you, I love sunsets so much because it's like, yeah. Anyways, shoot with window light. So like this. Right, this is natural light with the sun outside, or on the shadow side of your face for depth. This right here is your shadow side. Okay, this is my shadow side, sorry. This is my light side. You can see there's light on my face. That's my light side. So if I go over here, this will be my light side, right? But usually you want to shoot at the shadow side because it's a lot more, it creates depth. It makes your face look 3D, and people call it cinematic, right? 3D depth. So cinematic shots are more about lighting contrast than fancy gear. So you can do this with an iPhone once again. Pro tip, if you have an iPhone, which is any camera in general, you want to lower your camera's exposure a little bit to make the shadows pop. Right now it's a bit bright, but if I were to make this a cinematic shot, I would lower the exposure by this much. Like here or here, right? You also want to remember dark shadows equals emotion and flat light is just dead boring. Now, every shot is a part of the story. So don't film random clips. You want to film scenes that visualizes meaning. So you want to use symbols like pen and paper. You want to use specific actions, Easter eggs, add them into your shots, etc., etc. I'll let you get creative with it. Each frame should match your message or mood as well, okay? If it's sad, make it a sad scene. Make it dark, make it gloomy. You can even do a very easy scene. For example, you can film one single activity from 3 different angles, from 3 different shots. Long, medium, close. That's it. First one long, second one medium, third one close. All the same actions, different angles, different shots. Okay, and then you can connect them together, edit them into one clip. That's your first scene. This gives you reusable content, aka B-roll. So that makes editing 10 times easier if you recycle B-roll again and again. Play around and break the filmmaking rules as well. Okay, you can always get out of your comfort zone, get out of the box if you feel special one day. For example, you can film handheld shots. I love filming handheld shots all the time because it's a breath of fresh air. And all of this is for retention. People don't scroll because they hate your message. They scroll because your visuals didn't hold them long enough. So cinematography lets you say more things with less words. Okay, it's not about video content. It's visual storytelling. But aesthetic shots, okay, cannot carry your content without the editing part. So this is where we move on to framework 4, which is retention editing. Okay, let's talk about the brain rot attention economy. People scroll fast, I think you know this, really fast. Especially if you watch my content, it's very fast paced. Viewers are hyper judgmental as well. A lot of people aren't aware of this. Content creators, viewers, your audience, super hyper judgmental. They are also skeptical and critical. Attention spans are shrinking every single year thanks to TikTok, and your visuals need to keep up to keep the brain consistently stimulated. Obviously, cinematography helps, but without good editing, without efficient editing, you're going to miss out. You can't keep up. So let's start with the basic rule. The first and foremost rule is the 2-second rule. This is where you cut down every shot to 1 to 3 seconds max. I personally go even faster, around 1.3 seconds per shot. Sometimes I go even more, only if I'm intentional with it. Only if it's like a really good shot. Maybe I'll do 4 seconds, maybe I'll do 5. Generally, you don't want to go more than 3 seconds. Obviously, I'm talking about in the context of cinematic storytelling, so my style of videos. But B-roll clips, sometimes you can do 0.3 to 0.5 seconds. I like to do that too, especially if I use clips from my camera roll. Why? Because we see things faster than we speak. So one boring frame, if people see that, they will scroll. One delayed cut, if people notice that, they will scroll. If people notice that if you're dragging this one line, sentence, moment, event, segment, scene a little too much, they will scroll. So your job is to keep their brain, quote unquote, too busy to scroll. The 3-second plus shots are allowed, like I said before, but be very intentional with them, okay? Only do a select few, maybe once a video. Also, you want to fill out every single shot. Camera movements and movements in camera. That's pretty much how you fill out shots. You either move your camera or move in the camera, in your shot, in your frame. Treat every clip like it's its own mini movie. So don't just fill out your time, use every second on screen. Okay, so every millisecond counts. Each shot should include an introduction to a new perspective, express a new feeling, or support the narrative. Okay, so cinematic storytelling is precise. It's not random. Next, we got captions, the silent retention hack. 80% of your viewers watch on mute. Fun fact. So captions are not optional, they're a priority. When they see captions, they will most likely, 90% of the time, unmute your video, and listen to whatever you have to say. Plus, captions help with retaining as well, because it's visual and auditory, right? So they're hearing your voice at the same time reading the subtitles. My rules for captions are, only have 1 to 3 words on screen, cut up the sentence word by word manually on CapCut. I do manually because it allows me to have full control over my text, full control over the timing so I can sync it up properly. And yes, it's tedious, extremely tedious. It takes a ton of time, but you can increase and systemize the skill, basically. So you can make it more efficient and faster for yourself. I used to be super slow with captions until I just kept repeating the same habits again and again. I found my keyboard shortcuts. I know how to copy and paste. Also, bold colors for emphasis. So sometimes I use bold and colors. So I bolden the text and make it yellow to emphasize my words. So some emphasis colors would be yellow, which is like light. Red would emphasize pain and problems, okay? I also like to use the shadow effect for clarity. So you can see in this text itself, it has shadow. This is what my captions usually look like. If you have long paragraphs, remove them. Don't do that. Don't do long paragraphs for captions. Make it readable and rhythmic. Is that how you say it? sorry, I don't know English, rhythmic, like a fast song lyric video. You've seen them on TikTok, you've seen them on YouTube, you know what song lyric videos are. You want to make it exactly like that, okay? 1 to 3 words, 1 to 2 words, recommended. Now, music. With music, you want to match the mood, okay? So forget trending sounds, you don't need to use them. Genuinely, they don't matter. Use music that fits your message, okay? Make it unique, make it individual, make it personalized. So here's my process. Browse Spotify for your personal favorites, for your favorite songs, and then search up your favorite song name with instrumental on YouTube. Song, instrumental. And then you go to one of those YouTube to MP3 websites, search it up on Google, YouTube to MP3, paste the link to the instrumental video into that page, organize it into folders according to what emotion you want. Sad songs, organize that into a folder. Happy sounds, into a folder. Hype, folder, okay? Drag into the timeline. So when you're editing, drag it into the timeline and lower the instrumental to around -10 decibels or -20 decibels. That's usually the range that I do it on. Any less would be a little bit too soft. Anything more would be way too loud. Here's some options to try. Maybe you want to do a movie soundtrack, so you search up the name of the movie and soundtrack on YouTube, copy and paste the link, download it, MP3. Game soundtrack, same thing. Artist type beat, Kendrick type beat, Minecraft soundtrack, Interstellar soundtrack. Get creative with whatever you search. Build your library. It only takes like, what, 1 to 2 hours? It's worth investing that time, okay? Music is the subconscious language of your story. Hype, use hip hop. Sad, use piano. Pick songs that mirrors your message. Even with great music, most creators still get stuck though, okay? So once you've chosen your amazing instrumental song soundtrack library, you can still get stuck with this. Why? Because they get consistency wrong. That brings us to framework 5, which is more, better, new. Most creators hit one of 2 walls. They either burn out from doing too much too quickly, or plateau from repeating the same thing for months. That was my mistake. Now the solution here is to do repetitions with intention. We call them reps in Creatopia. So not just volume, okay? Reps. Now the first stage is more, which is quantity reps. You want to build your content muscle by creating daily videos, daily reps. The goal here is not perfection, obviously, because you're doing more quantity. It's momentum. So you prioritize quantity over quality. The quality part, we'll get to that. But for now, you got to be very intentional with what stage you're on. If it's more, better on you. With more, it's literally just repetition, okay? Consistency. Again and again, every day. Daily input, okay? Every new idea becomes a learning opportunity because the more reps you do, the better you get naturally, just like when you go to a gym. And you can also set a weekly system. So for example, one day you can work on your ideas, another day you can work on writing 5 scripts, 7 scripts. Another day you can shoot 1 or 2 videos, other days edits, and then save a day to schedule your posts on Meta Business Suite or YouTube Studio or TikTok Studio. All those tools help you, schedule your content for the week after. Usually when I'm in the more stage, I either post on the day or schedule the post for next week so that I can keep up with my weekly system. Now with better, this is the second stage. This is where quality reps comes in. Once you've built momentum, you want to start refining the details, okay? And you will know when to move on to better once more starts getting slower. Once you start getting sick of doing daily videos, then you do better. And you want to experiment with your voice, format, and structure with the better stage. So basically you just study what actually performed in your more stage, of course, and ask why. Why did that perform well? Oh, it's because I was being real with the sentence. I need more of that, okay? I'm gonna try making all of my sentences real in my script. Oh, it's because I did that shot. Oh, it's because I did a zoom in. Oh, it's because I did 2-second cuts. Oh, it's because I used that sound. Oh, it's because I did a pattern break there, okay? So self-analysis is also very important, which we learn inside Creatopia in phase 3 in the Consume course. Also with the better stage is you get the chance to trim all the fluff that you usually do with more. Because with more, you tend to yap a lot. So with better, you don't have time to do that. So trim the fluff, improve your hooks, perfect your hooks as much as possible, your hooks and scripting, and spend more time doing more advanced techniques with your shots and cinematography as well. And you also want to repurpose your old footage with new edits and sound design. Okay. Now the next stage, the final stage, is new, which is where you make innovative reps. Most creators never reach this phase because it scares them. It scared me for sure. This is where you basically test a new series, test new fresh angles, new camera techniques, new camera styles, maybe buy a new lens, buy a new camera, I don't know, or topics out of your niche, okay? Try a new platform or layout, wide versus vertical, voiceover versus face cam. I recently bought this new wide lens. I love it so much. It's so fun to play with, and I'm most likely going to play around with it for a long time. This is where you get to re-evolve yourself over and over again. So new ideas keep your creativity alive. You don't get burnt out when you reach new, and you're not bored, okay? And your audience, once again, gets hooked. Now, these 3 stages cycle every few months, okay? Sometimes you need more repetitions, sometimes better systems. And when you're ready, it's time to try something new, right? So you really have to write down and journal, okay, what stage am I on right now? Am I prioritizing quantity? Do I need more repetitions right now when I've already posted 100 videos? Or do I need to go all in on quality and maybe post once a week just to get out the best type of video I need? So the key is to stay in the game long enough to evolve. And this stage is literally like you repeat from new to more again. So more, better, new, more, better, new, more, better, new. But after all of that, you still have a slight problem. And that problem is you. You might be secretly seeking validation through online views. Let's get real here. You might be overthinking from the fear of failing your family and never being enough. You might be driven only by vanity metrics, knowing well you're slowly selling your soul. And you're low-key self-centered, obsessed with your own content, and chasing influencer status. You might also be insecure of not meeting these social media standards. You might think you're too boring for social media. You might be feeling miserable and lonely in your solo journey. I sure did. You might be constantly checking your comment section and who's looking at your story views, who's liking your posts for validation and just meaningless dopamine hits. You might be spending 10 hours a day. You might be spending over 10 hours a day grinding, quote unquote, alone on videos to prove your worth to others. You might be too comfortable working alone to avoid feedback, outside input, or collaboration. You're soft. And you might be stuck in a cycle of consistent and you call it productive posting, while actually in reality you're averaging less than 100, less than 1,000 views every video. So this next part of the guide is for those who are 3 things. Number 1, currently creating short form videos or looking to start posting consistently. Number 2, aiming to monetize a social media audience with your own business or product. And number 3, genuinely driven to create authentic storytelling content with a cinematic blend. And the rest of this video is not for those who are chasing quick numbers like view counts or follower goals with zero purpose, unwilling to post videos, see them fail, see them flop, and learn and repeat for at least 100 to 90 days. Or for those looking to spend a month with us just for fast social media hacks and strategies. This is not for you. I'm sorry. Goodbye. And if you've watched this far, you're already in that top 5% category willing to take the next step. And I've explained a bunch of messy frameworks with no one-stop solution, which leads me to our final and most important framework. Framework 6, community. Now, here's what we have in Creatopia. I've mentioned it throughout this video. If you don't know already, I sell this digital product, which is a community, and it's more than just a community. It starts with our forum, first and foremost. Inside our forum, we write posts, right? So we connect with our group. It's a whole network, and we share our content every single day. We call them reps. We also put in consistent repetitions, videos, reels, and give each other real critical feedback. Our goal is to stay inspired and accountable together in this journey. This isn't just a random digital group, another one of those things with surface level vibes, okay? Creatopia is serious, and I want you guys to actually get results and share meaningful lessons and stories and testimonies out there and actually change people's lives. We're a family of brothers and sisters as well who genuinely care about each other, right? So I post exclusive source every single week. So content secrets, breakdowns, you'll get plenty of those, deep dives, all that stuff. Then we have the courses, the classroom courses, where you can access the entire starter journey, which is our core system for storytelling creators. Whether you're advanced or beginner, this starter journey helps everyone and is for everyone. These courses are structured into 9 phases: brand, consume, ideas, script, film, edit, reps, and more. Okay, more coming soon too. You can also follow the suggested 20-day program, which we have written down. Each and every day will have some tasks for you to follow if you do want to follow this program, or you can just move at your own pace and watch these courses in your own timing. Everything's beginner friendly as well, and it's built with deep strategy and tested experience. So we also include IRL demos in these courses because I know that's what I needed back when I was struggling. Scripting walkthroughs. Okay, so you can watch me just an hour of me just scripting a video, all right? There's plenty of walkthroughs for that, and etc. Not just Google Slides like this. You'll have plenty of these theory stuff, but also practical stuff as well, because I believe that without implementations, without you guys completing the quests inside our courses as well, it's useless. It's just another one of those online courses where you don't take action. And it's designed with everything you need to build your personal brand from scratch. Next, we have the calls, our coaching calls. 3 times a week, we have these live calls with real-time feedback, Q&As, and creative strategy sessions. In these 1-hour calls, people get to learn personalized content and branding directly from me. So I'm the only coach for now, which means there's no fluff, no yes men. I will literally rush your content and give you realistic, critical feedback for you to improve immediately. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you. We help you build realistic game plans and sharpen your content creation system. You can also connect with your fellows because our calls are pretty chill. Like we're a family of brothers and sisters. A lot of us know each other. It's very casual. You can ask anything, share wins and struggles, etc., etc. And you can get access also to exclusive monthly interviews with high-level influencers and experts. So I bring on these guests every month to talk about content and other stuff too. So you get access to that. But let's be real, right? Don't expect to blow up overnight just because you watched all the modules. If you plan to join Creatopia, our community, don't expect to blow up in 30 days. That's just the reality of it, especially if you just started out. If you don't have that much experience with content creation, you can learn every single viral hook or secret strategy of mine and still get cooked, right? The real key here is to plug your reps into the community. That is probably one of the long-term investments you can do inside Creatopia. Daily, intentional, repetitive videos. Because growth isn't from information. It's not from courses. It's not from theory. It's from application. Now here is our very own brothers and sisters and our testimonials inside Creatopia. First we got Chris, who nearly got 600,000 views in 2 days. Oh my days. His 3rd rep and 4th rep for May is just popping off. 600k views in total. We also got my homie Boy, who reached 250k plus views in his latest 3 posts. We also got my guy Orlando, who reached 10k views on the last video he posted in 24 hours. And fun fact, that's his very first video in Creatopia. Also, another first video in Creatopia is with Michelle, where their storytelling reel, she made a storytelling reel for her husband, and it got 200k views in less than 24 hours. And now it's at 1 million views on Instagram, which is insane, bro. We also got my boy Paul, who got 80k likes and 300k views in less than 24 hours with one of his videos, with one of his TikToks. And my boy Anthony, who got 100k views on one of his series videos. Praise God. Now, let's talk about pricing. You're probably expecting some crazy price tag for this community, right? Considering the access you get, for example, the courses, the coaching, etc. Just out of my head, 3k sounds fair enough for this entire thing, okay? $3,000 USD. But nah. I'm not going to pull the Kenny tax on you like every other guru on the internet. I know what it's like to be broke, and I know what it's like to have, to save money, to be a cheapskate. I'm still like that. And protect every dollar in your bank account. So when pricing Creatopia, I asked myself, what would 18-year-old Ken actually afford? And what would be reasonable for me to actually earn today? That's why the full membership is just $330 per year, USD. That's literally the price of around 27 Funko Pops, which is it's pretty cool. Now, of course, as the value increases for this community, courses, calls, the price will go up. So right now is basically your shot. It's the best time to enter this community. And before you go, I won't push this community onto you anymore. But I have one more thing. If you're not ready to invest yet, but you still want to grow with us and with Jesus, if you're a fellow Christian, struggling Christian, lukewarm Christian, I don't know, Asian Christian, I don't know. We created Creatopia Fellowship, a free Discord server for specifically faith and discipleship. Okay, so we confess our struggles inside here. We be vulnerable. We have plenty of space to study the gospel and pray for each other too. Okay, we have plenty of forums, channels, voice calls, all that. We also post daily devotions and run weekly Bible studies. And I host them as well. And right now, this month, May, we are planning to read Genesis, read through Genesis, study the verses, study the chapters and all that stuff. And it's also a judgment-free zone to be fully real and transparent. Not perfect, because none of us are except one. Praise God. And yes, it's 100% free for all once again. Come as you are. Amen. Click the link below in the description or in the comment section to join us and step into Creatopia today. If you're seeing this on my website, click the button below to select your plan. Other than that, much love, God bless. May the Lord be with you every single day.